Hello! So today I'm going to be talking about Big Swiss by Jen Beagin. A queer story that's darkly funny, honest and outlandish in the best way possible. It's a shame that the reason this novel is getting so much hype is because Jodie Comer bought the rights to it and it's being turned into a HBO TV show. Not that that's a bad thing, far from it, but it should be getting hype based on its own merit. Although I'm sure Jen Beagin doesn't mind raking in that TV money. And being honest, after reading this, I am genuinely excited to see its TV adaptation. But putting all that aside, what's this book about? Set in Hudson, New York, where the wealthy and hipster chic wander galleries, sip coffee and walk their dogs, we follow Greta, a 45 newly single dog lover who works as an audio transcriptionist for a sex therapist named Om. Or should I say, Om. She lives with her drug-dealing housemate Sabine in a run-down farmhouse described as the Fight Club house with more comfortable furniture. Their house is very quirky, just like this book. There's a beehive in the living room, and Sabine, who owns the house, upon discovering the beehive, rather than get rid of it, decided to keep it because she loves the company of bees in the kitchen. Through her job, Greta has the inside scoop on some of the darkest sex secrets and desires of her fellow Hudson residents. One day, she is subscribing a new client and she is instantly captivated by the client's voice. And Greta names her the Big Swiss. Her name is Flavia, she's 28 years old, she's married, she's a gynecologist, she is also a dog lover, and she has never had an orgasm, which is why she's in sex therapy. Greta becomes absolutely infatuated with the Big Swiss. After a fair chunk of Greta's backstory, which is really interesting, interspersed with recordings of fellow Hudson residents and the Big Swiss, Greta finally meets Flavia in the dog park. She panics and she doesn't know what to do, but because she is so drawn to Flavia, she ends up giving her a fake name. And before you know it, the two hit it off. The rest of the novel is the two of them exploring this relationship, and this book really goes there. It really goes there. It doesn't hold back in exploring the idiosyncratic details of sex and female pleasure. But it never ever drops its theme or tone, and everything that happens is always tinged with humour. As the novel progresses, the curtain is slowly revealed. Okay, that made no sense whatsoever. As the curtain is slowly revealed. I think what I was trying to say is as the curtain is slowly pulled back. That's what I was trying to say. On the trauma that both Flavia and Greta have suffered. And this novel starts to become a way of exploring trauma and the many ways in which it can manifest. I'm going to leave that there as I don't want to spoil much more for you. But I'm pretty sure I've not given you anything that the blurb on the inside dust jacket doesn't give you. Well, let me check. What Greta doesn't know is she's about to bump into Big Swiss in a local dog park. A new and not entirely honest relationship is going to be born. A relationship that will transform both of their lives. Yeah, I mean, if you can't guess that they're going to spark up a sexual relationship from that, then yeah, your powers of perception definitely need a little bit of fine-tuning. I think I'm safe. I don't think I've spoiled anything. Anywho, what did I like and what didn't I like? What I liked, lots. It's really funny. It's honest, it's really weird and really quirky, and I just loved it for that. I got massive Chuck Palahniuk vibes from this book. Chuck's early work also explored the absolute idiosyncratic details of life and sex and relationships, and this book has boatloads of that. The character work is also fantastic, so well-rounded and vibrant. The characters are heightened, but it works so well for the comedy and observations taking place. The writing is just great. Jen Beagin can write dialogue so bloody well. It just flows beautifully. I was absolutely hooked and drawn in to the dialogue and conversations that take place in this book. Now, this isn't a plot-driven novel, its focus is on character and trauma and sex. But there are enough plot beats in it to keep you hooked, and I really liked it for that. What didn't I like? Only one thing. The ending felt a little bit rushed and fell a little bit flat. For a book that takes so much time on its characters, and I mean so much time, but in a really brilliant and interesting way, yeah, the ending didn't feel as well realised as everything else. Now, I understand why the book ended the way it does. It has a kind of switch to pull focus and make you realise as a reader what character you should be focusing on. And I really did like that because this book is about trauma, and that little switch gives us a nice avenue into exploring that a little bit deeper. But yeah, so much time was spent on characters, and I don't feel like the ending really pushed itself as much as it could, especially as how much we were given leading up to it. The small amount of foreshadowing we are given does have payoff, but again, just doesn't push as far as I wanted or thought it was going to. But that's it for my dislikes. I really enjoyed reading this one. I read it in one sitting and I laughed my arse off. And I also learnt a few things. And if you know, you know. I'm going to give this book 4 stars out of 5. I thought it was excellent. If the ending had been a little bit better, fleshed out a little bit more time on some of the other characters given at the end, then it would have been a straight up 5-star. But nevertheless, extremely funny, dark, honest. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Excellent, 4 stars. So, have you read this book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you are well. Thank you so much for watching,